Andy, you have released quite a few albums through the years, and a while ago you finished the recordings for the new Helloween album, Rabbits Don't Come Easy. It's about to be released now. How do you feel before the release? Are you kind of relieved, or are you excited, or have you done this so many times by now that you get used to it?
For this album, it was something special again. First of all, we had like two new guys, which is Sasha on the guitar and Stefan on the drums. Sasha from Freedom Call, which was a kind of Helloween stylish band he played in, you could say. So he just came to the original, I would say. Stefan, the drummer, he used to play with Accept and UDO and Running Wild. And so it was definitely something like everybody was anxious to know what the new album will be like. We dreamt of doing a happy Helloween album, but still harder than the stuff you're used to. Which means from beginning on you had a description what you like to do, but if it would really work out like we listen to it now, like the Rabbit Don't Come Easy actually comes out, that was a surprise for everybody.
As far as I understand, Roland and Uli, they were asked to leave. Is there bad blood between the two guys and the rest of you guys in the band?
I wouldn't necessarily say bad blood. Maybe it's a lot of disappointment from their side because they simply don't understand why they had to leave. They don't want to understand. Maybe if I would be in their shoes, I wouldn't understand either. So it was Weikie's and Marcus' decision, mainly after these big discussions they had in South America on the last tour. So Weikie and Marcus told me after the very last show in Mexico that they actually want them to leave the band because of several reasons, not only musical reasons, but as well personal reasons.
As you said, Sasha Gerstner is your new guitar player. Which qualities were you looking for in a new guitar player, and why do you feel that he fitted the band? Is it because he played in a band that could remind you of Helloween?
That was an extra plus point, I would say. So that at least gives you the freedom to worry about him being able to play Helloween style. When you know that he comes from a Helloween clone band, then at least you know that he knows what it's all about. The main thing for us was, besides the guitar playing, the person itself. So Weikie desperately looked for somebody he very much likes, and where he could imagine that this guy is there with him on the couch, and two guitar twin solo stuff, rehearsing and still having fun without that feeling that it now is work or something like that. With Roland, I know that through the last 8 years since I'm in the band, it never ever happened, not even once, that they really sat down together and rehearsed or played or had fun. It was like having two solo guitarists in Helloween.
Did you audition many guitar players for the spot, or?
Quite a few, but not so many actually. Simply because it was so important that the man who is coming in is actually somebody that everybody likes from beginning on. That was actually the most important point.
Was it important for you to have a German on guitar?
Not at all. No, not at all.
It wasn't that easy to find a new drummer. I mean, you found a drummer and he got ill, and Mickey Dee ended up doing the drums on the album.
Yeah.
He's a great drummer, but you didn't feel like waiting until you had a new permanent drummer to let him play on the album.
No, we already lost 5.5 weeks with Mark. We tried hard. We gave him like 3 chances, and we all hoped. And actually, we thought that he's going to be recovering through the last, let's say, 4 or 5 weeks. That's what the doctor said. The doctor said it may be that he only needs 4 or 5 weeks to finally recover. But then again, he told us from beginning on that this is a virus which can be a real bitch. So it could easily be like being knocked out for another 2 or 3 years, if not forever. So there are like 2 cases in form of gold medal winners in the last Olympic Games, and they really ended up in the rolling chair. So there was actually no time to look for a permanent drummer. So we had to find somebody who is able to do the job for the production quick. And the only guy we knew in the matter of knowing from festivals and stuff like that, knowing to be a cool guy, knowing that he used to play speed metal stuff as well, in Mickey's case with King Diamond these days. That was quite well comfortable to know. We actually knew if Mickey does the job will be done great. And on the other hand, it was also a political decision, because we hoped that Mark may recover in 4 or 5 weeks. That's why we gave Mickey a call and asked him to play maybe 5 tracks. Then the band would finish these tracks, and through these weeks we have something to work, and Mark could recover, try and come back and try to do the second half for the album, you know. But this didn't work out at all. So the idea was, with Mickey Dee playing half of the album, nobody else would come up with the idea that this is now the new drummer of the band, because he's playing in Motorhead. So everybody would have agreed that this is a friendship deal and not the new drummer for the band, you know. And Mark would have had the chance to play the second half then. He tried hard, he came back, but it didn't happen. So we gave Mickey a call again and asked him to finish the album.
Okay, so Mickey actually plays on all the tracks on the album? Except
Listen to the Flies and Don't Stop Being Crazy. These were the 2 tracks Mark nailed down before he got sick.
The album is recorded, of course, in your studio. Is it of any importance for you to record in a familiar environment, or does that matter at all?
Well, in earlier days it didn't matter. It wouldn't matter for the future. But then again, when the boys visited me on the island, everybody was more or less familiar with it anyway. So for them it's like a second home, meanwhile, you could say. We started the whole thing already with the Better Than Raw, when we recorded vocals and parts of the synths and parts of the guitars on the island already.
I think this is maybe the best sounding Helloween album ever. The production is really good, and you brought in Charlie Bauerfeind to produce the album. Is he the one to credit? Do you think this would have been a different album if you used Roy C again?
Well, if you use Roy, you definitely have a man who is exactly knowing how the new metalish or more modern sound should be. There you go. Charlie, actually, his first productions ever already had been Helloween stylish bands. He grew up with that, actually. So he knows what it's all about when you talk about happy Helloween. It's for Charlie, that he's actually the man for that, because he did all these European after Helloween bands. On the other hand, isn't it a funny story that Charlie then finally produces the original band?
Of course, about time.
Yeah, and then he's together with Roy C. doing a Dark Ride, you know. So for him, that was a bit of a surprise of being kind of degraded to a sound engineer then for the Dark Ride. But now with the Rapid album, he was the man. He was producing like everything.
I think you were experimenting with some new sounds on this album. Is that Charlie Bauerfeind's ideas, or did you just come up with some new ideas yourself regarding the sound?
Yes, but I'm actually astonished that you hear that.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought it's very much hidden into the whole complexity. So more or less, not on purpose hidden, but now when I listen to the album, I thought it's me knowing that it's there, but I thought it's not so obvious. But now that you say it, I'm actually happy that one hears it. I thought, because it's us not being objective, you know. But yes, I mean, there had been some ideas, and we just try to put it in the song when it made the song at least not worse, but better for the sake of being up to date without going away from the typical Helloween. And this is that's a very narrow, small path you have to follow. I have to agree, and I have to admit.
Sure.
Because we had some things which are on the album, but as soon as you would put them out too loud, it would totally destroy the Helloween picture. You suddenly would end up in a, what do I know, Helloween goes Kraftwerk or something like that, you know, and that's not the intention then. It's always fun to check out new things if it beats well in the same rhythm as your heart, if it comes out of your stomach and you say, wow, that's great. And still it's happy, happy Helloween. It doesn't weaken or soften the song. It just gives it an extra spice. Then it's the good thing, I think.
Sure. The album is called Rabbit Don't Come Easy. Where did you get that idea from? That crazy title.
That stupid idea. Well, the intention was we had to find a title which shows from beginning on. It's a stupid, funny title which totally has nothing to do with the Dark Ride. Not that we don't agree to the Dark Ride, but it's very important to show the people that it's definitely back on track, that it's definitely Helloween, happy, happy Helloween. The only danger affection or side effect would be that a lot of people would think it's another Pink Bubbles Go Ape because of the title. But then again, it's a stupid, crazy title, and I think everybody realizes that it's at least not a dark album. And the whole album title was actually Marcus kind of going to that, pulling a rabbit out of a hat, this old English saying, which means doing something very, very easy. And Marcus actually mentioned in the middle of the production, after that drum stuff, that Misery went on, he said, well, that rabbit doesn't come so easy, does it? And I remember Wycliffe shedding tears by laughing when he translated it into Spanish. That would mean conejo no viene fácil, which means pussy doesn't come easy. And that was it, and it was the title.